What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Scotty Flow here from Power Surge World. In today's video, we're going to analyze Aroldis Chapman. We're going to analyze the fastest pitch, unofficial, fastest pitch ever recorded at 106 miles per hour. So that you see, that's the video on the left. Now, on the right, I'm going to have different pictures of all different type of side views of his delivery, because really the back angle of his delivery, it's an okay angle, but I prefer a side view like this one. So you'll see the video on the left, see here, and you'll have pictures where I'll be breaking down his delivery even more on the right. Alright, so let's get started. So Chapman's from the windup. I just fast forward a little till after he does a little lean back. So now he's going to lift his leg. So you see here, he crunched together a little, which isn't really that important. Most important is you want to look at his back leg. So you see, you can't really tell from this angle, but from this angle you see his back leg is already going forward, that he's already internally rotating his leg, which is going to help him later in the delivery. You see how internally he rotated his leg is. And then later, he is extremely internally rotated, and that's why he throws 105, 106. So, here, sorry, we'll break it down. So right here, you see his leg is internally rotated. You can see in the picture here, which is going to help him late in the delivery. Alright, so now the next phase of the delivery, which is the load, let me put a picture up, is now he's going to load his back leg. So he's here, his knee is already going forward, already starting to internally rotate, already starting to power back, and now he is completely loaded right here. This is right before he starts to explode. You could see he starts to explode if you watch his back knee, his back foot. See, it's on the rubber, it's on the rubber, it's on the rubber. Now it starts to go off the rubber on this frame, so that's when he starts to explode. So this is his right before he explodes, his load. So if you look at both photos, both the video and the photo, that on the left, you could see that his force vector is ankle to knee, that his knee is extremely internally rotated. His knees are almost together. That on the right, it doesn't really seem that much, but from this angle, you see how much his knees are in, how much he's aligned to throw the ball laterally. You should, this is so important because when you pitch a baseball, it's a lateral movement. It's not up and down. So as a result, you have to get your force vector, which is your ankle to knee, that instead of having it straight up, see here, that if you want to jump, normally you would have your ankle to knee straight up, but because pitching is a lateral movement, you want your ankle to knee to be as lateral as possible. You really want it aligned with your front hip. See, Chapman does here, because when you have it aligned with your front hip, then you're able to throw the ball as hard as possible, transfer all your energy instead of transferring it up, like I'm sure a lot of you guys do. It's a very common problem, to transfer towards home plate. Okay? Also, like I said, that you really want your knee to be as lateral, as internally rotated as possible without losing power. That Chapman probably has extreme internal rotation on his right leg, on his load leg, on his left leg because he's a lefty, on his load leg, which is for righties, their right leg, their back leg. So as a result of this, he's still able to have extreme power in this position, where in an extreme internally rotated position, because he's so flexible, he could get to this position and remain powerful, remain torsion back. He still has torsion in his knee. Like, you don't want to, if you want to really align your force vector, that you also have to be careful to lose torsion in your knee because now you're not able to explode. But with maximum flexibility, with a mobility program that Power Surge offers, that you're able to not only get to the position, but also get to there strongly so then you could explode. You see Chapman explode after. So also if you look at his upper body, you see his upper body is really back, is really closed off. Now, personally, I don't advise this because as a result of his upper body being closed off, his hips are much more closed and he has a much longer distance. You see how far he has to open his hips to throw the ball. Now, he achieves that because he's so athletic, because he has such quick hips, but a lot of you guys will probably be stuck in this position. It'll probably land closed. You see this is right before he lands, that he rotates it so quick. But a lot of you guys, your remain closed, you won't be able to open up. So personally, I don't advise to be as close as Chapman. Even though, let me iterate this, even though for Chapman, it's the correct thing to do. Okay, and even for you, if you're able to open up your hips, explode through like Chapman is, which is very, very, very rare. That's why Chapman throws so hard. Such a rarity. Then you could do that. But if you don't, which 99% of people in the world don't have this ability, then I would advise keeping your upper body a little more open. All right, so now let's go to his explosion and switch frames, switch photos. So you see in his explosion, see he's loaded back. Now if you watch his back knee, he really pushes off the mound. Let's magnify this. He pushes off the mound right here. You see he's really extending his knee, his ankle. He gets his ankle through when he lands. It's right where he lands. See how torqued back he is? You see in this photo, you can't really tell from here. You can kind of tell that in this photo his hips are open and his shoulders are completely closed. You can tell here how close his shoulders are. This is really amazing. He lands, right about here. You can tell. You watch his front foot. See, it's still up. Now he lands right here. His hips are completely open. He's in this position, and he so you see he attains maximum hip to shoulder separation. That this photo is like, I wouldn't emulate this either, because I mean you want to get to this, but you don't want to sacrifice your explosion to stay this close. Like optimally you want to keep your shoulders back as much as you can, but most importantly you want your hips open, because when your hips open, that's when you start counting your internal rotation. That's when you start counting your hip to shoulder separation. Like you see Chapman, he's extremely close, and then when he opens up his hips, because it's such powerful force the other way, because his hips are pulling him, you see when he explodes, it's pulling him forward that way so much that he actually opens up slightly, but because he stayed so close before that, he's able to still stay extremely close, still get maximum hip to shoulder separation, which according to Tom House in Sports Science was 65 degrees of hip to shoulder separation, while the average major leaguer gets 40 to 60. He also said that hip to shoulder separation is 80% of your velocity, so that's why it's so important. So let's just look at his explosion again. See, he really pushes off the mound. He pushes the mound back. He internally rotates his leg. Let's look at his zoom in on his leg. See, it's loaded back, it's torqued back, it's slightly internally rotated, but still has torsion, still has powerful. And now he's exploding, he's rotating and extending his back leg to when he lands here. You see right here, his leg is completely extended. You can see it better from the side angle where his knee is completely extended. You see it's completely extended here. It's a crappy line. See, his knee is completely extended. Alright, so Now let's take him into pitch release. So let's get the next photo. Oh, this is when he. Let's look in it when he chest thrust. So you see how far his arm is, which is really amazing. Let's go to the video chest thrust. So because he exploded so hard, you can see here that he has so much torque in his upper body that it just transfers up to his arm. See, that's this frame. That's this frame. You see, this is probably the frame before this frame that it transfers through his arm because he was so explosive that he has maximum chest thrust and maximum external rotation. So also, like, in order to get to this position, it's not that you have to be extremely flexible and mobile. It's just that you have to be extremely explosive and explosive enough to have all that energy go up to your connection, go up to arm, and pull your arm back. Alright, now let's go into pitch release. Got a photo here. So you see in a pitch release, it's right here, that because he was so closed up that he rotated so much, so he's throwing slightly from the side. You can see it here too. It's not over the top, it's slightly 3/4. This is okay. It's really like the only thing you have to worry about for arm problems is if your shoulder lines up with your elbow. It's not below your elbow. Is your elbow line up with your shoulder? See here. See his shoulder. His elbow is here. See it lines up with his shoulder. If it was below his shoulder, if it was right, if his elbow was like right here, see it's below his shoulder, then that wouldn't be good. That would cause arm problems, but because it's at his shoulder, it's okay. Alright, so pitch release, he's slightly 3/4, like I said, because he's rotational here. He just unwinds so quick. He's rotational upper body, but he still reaches really out because of his stride. And because he was so explosive, he was able to get through his, get to his front side, get through his back side, and you see his legs completely extended. This is right before he's throwing the ball, and it transfers from his back leg to his front leg to the ball to 105 miles per hour. So if you watch the whole thing in one motion, see forward, load, explode, extend his back leg. Forward, load, explode, lock back leg. Alright, so that was the 106 mile per hour analysis. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Let's go for 50 likes. Like, comment, subscribe. If you want to know more about how to buy go on World.com. We have ebooks, we have articles, we have everything you need to reach your high velocity goals, and eventually, who knows, throw as hard as Chapman. Alright, Scotty Flow out.